Now that our ViewModel for main activity is working, we can add the ViewModel for add task activity. As we know, when we want to update a task, we need to call the loadTaskById method of our task DAO. This method requires the ID of the task as a parameter. Therefore, the ViewModel will need the ID of the task, so we need to pass this value to the ViewModel. For that, we need to create a ViewModel factory. Let's create a new class called addTaskViewModelFactory. This will extend from ViewModelProvider new instance factory. Our factory will require two member variables, an instance of the database and the ID of the task that we want to update. We can create a constructor that receives the values to initialize our member variables. Finally, we will need to override the create method to return a new addTaskViewModel that uses our parameters in its constructor. This is quite a standard code that you can reuse with minor modifications. Time to create our addTaskViewModel. Now, if we check our main ViewModel class, we can see that it extends Android ViewModel. Therefore, it will be reasonable to do the same in our addTaskViewModel. Still, this case is a bit different as we are using a factory. Because of that, we will extend from ViewModel instead. Similarly as in main ViewModel, our addTaskViewModel will have a private member variable for the live data and a public getter. We will also initialize our tasks variable in the constructor with the relevant call to the database. Now we are ready to use our addTaskViewModel. First, locate our live data in addTaskActivity. The call to loadTaskById is now done on the ViewModel, so we do not need it here anymore. We can also remove the login. We now need to create an instance of our factory by passing the database and the task ID to its constructor. We can create the ViewModel similarly as we did for main ViewModel. The key difference here is that we are passing the factory as a parameter. Again, we can retrieve the live data that we want to observe by calling the getTask method of our ViewModel. We can use this method to also remove the observer. Now, our live data object is cached in the ViewModel, so we can retrieve it again after rotation without needing to requery our database.